Hello everyone, in this video we are looking into possibilities of how we can make our FastAPI application fast, and I mean it really fast. Before we move forward and implement anything, I want you to understand how FastAPI application handles different things. So there are two kinds of possible load that your FastAPI application can have. First is input-output based, second CPU based. When I'm talking about input-output, I mean DB calls. You call any API, third-party API. Okay, let's say you send email. These things are input output based work. So basically you start the work and you don't wait for the work. You can forget that. When it finishes, it will let you know, and that is what asynchronous things are about. I'm sure you understand that. But the actual thing where FastAPI struggles is CPU based task. For example, manipulating an image, applying blending image, alpha mask, or any kind of image manipulation is that. Let's say you want to load a model, AI model basically, and do prediction. So these kind of things are CPU heavy. They require CPU processing. These things doesn't need CPU. Basically they make a request, wait for the response, and when the response comes, it does further processing. So when we talk about FastAPI, we have input output based and CPU based applications. Now FastAPI has inbuilt asynchronous functionality. So when your, let's say, route is asynchronous, and any functionality under is asynchronous, so all the functions are asynchronous, then you are good to go. Your input output based task will work flawlessly, and you will have high concurrent user can be served by the FastAPI application. But you need to make sure that all the functions inside the route are fully asynchronous. So when I say fully asynchronous, you should not be using request. You should be instead using HTTPX, because HTTPX is asynchronous. This is not asynchronous. Okay. And for your CPU based task, where you need high amount of CPU time to finally generate the response, or finally do any task, when you need high amount of CPU, what you do is that good option is queue plus worker arrangement. So what happens is that, let's say there is a CPU intensive route, and when you receive a request, validate it, and then create a job and queue the job. You will be running a worker separately. Worker process will be there. Now this worker process will take the job and complete the job in a separate process. Your CPU time is basically provided by other process, and your route is completely free. As soon as a new request comes and you enqueue the job, that's the amount of time you are going to spend here. So these are the main things about how FastAPI application can handle different types of things, input output and CPU based. There is one more thing before we actually see any amount of code, and that thing is workers. we all run FastAPI application with some kind of Uvicorn command. Okay, let's say Uvicorn app. I'm sure you know that this is the file name and this is the variable that holds the FastAPI application. This command also, takes argument called workers. Default, this workers has a value 1, but when you replace the workers with the value, let's say 2, that means this command will run two processes. Okay, process 1 and process 2. Both processes are FastAPI application, okay, which has their own CPU, time and memory and all the other things that a FastAPI application can have. These two processes will have the same things. So when you run with workers command, FastAPI application has multiple processes equals to the number of workers, and basically it can handle multiple requests at the same time. So that means when two requests comes, one request goes to the process 1 and second goes to the process 2. Now let's see a small amount of code in order to understand these things that I have talked about. So I have this FastAPI application. Then I have these things like CPU heavy task and thread based task and NQ job based tasks. And I have some benchmarks that actually throws multiple requests on the server and measures the response time and things like that. So in order to run the application, I'll go to my terminal and first I'll use tmux because I'll need to run a couple of things at the same time. So first I'll run Redis because the application requires Redis in order to manage the queue. Then let me start the worker first. So I'll say uv run worker.py. So this worker.py, I would like to show you. This worker.py is part of this thing. I have run this separate worker process first. Now I'll run the application Uvicorn app. That means this is my file name and this is the variable that holds FastAPI application. I'm not passing any workers argument here. So when I run it, you will see single process has started. Now what I'll do is that I'll run the benchmark. It will take like couple of seconds to complete the benchmark. So we have this benchmark results. The first is a threaded endpoint where we are sending 4 requests per thread, and it basically took around 13 and a half seconds to complete the job. And on the other hand, we have this queue benchmark where we queued 8 jobs and it took around 0.03 seconds, which is basically nothing. So this consider recording this time 13.33 seconds. Now what I'll do is that instead of running a single process, I'll use this workers argument, and let's say I'll give 2 workers. You'll see, so it will start a parent process and 2 server process. This parent process will pass request to any of the sub processes based on how free they are. Now if I run the same benchmark, you will see faster results. Since I ran 2 workers, 3 seconds were down in the same task, and this even the queue endpoint benchmark reduced to 0.02 seconds from 0.03 seconds. So you understand, if I run further, let's say 4 workers and run the benchmark again, it would be more faster. You can see it took around 9.91 seconds to complete the tasks. I hope you now kind of understand what we are doing here. We are managing the workers. So this brings to us another problem, that how many workers are enough. For that, I have a theory, and I'm not sure how accurate that is, but I would like to share the theory as well. So for workers, let's say you have only input output based tasks, then you will have 2x workers of your CPU cores, and with this you are good to go. But let's say you have some CPU based tasks, then 1x of CPU cores would be the ideal number for the workers. I hope this video helps you understand how you can modify your existing FastAPI application to make it faster. Make sure you have asynchronous routes, asynchronous functions, requests are replaced by HTTPX, and all the other things which not asynchronous must be replaced by asynchronous functionality. Further, you make sure that you run your application with workers argument, and you decide the number of workers based on the type of task you have. For input output based tasks, 2x of the CPU cores would be the ideal number for workers, and for CPU based tasks, 1x of the CPU cores would be an ideal number for your workers. Finally, I hope that this video is helpful to you. If you find the content on my YouTube channel helpful, consider subscribing to my channel. That helps. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the life, feel the music. Peace.